going to be reading chapter 2 of our new Magic Tree House. Viking ships at sunrise. Sit up on your pockets. Friends, I give you time sometimes to lay and relax on the carpet, maybe at the end of the day when all of our work is done and we have a couple extra minutes, or on a fun Friday, or maybe during a celebration. But
or maybe when you go home.
When I'm waiting for you to find your seat, that's not an appropriate time to be laying on the carpet. I understand you need to rest, but you can rest on your pockets like a second grader. Capiche? Thanks. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
It was on
you okay?
accident.
Okay, chapter 2, the steep climb. Jack opened his eyes. The light was still gray, but the air was even damper and colder than in Frog Creek. Wow, I'm in a long dress, said Annie. It's scratchy. Hey, I've got a little purse on my belt. It has my library card in it. Jack looked down at his own clothes. He was wearing a shirt and trousers made of heavy wool. He also wore leather slippers, and in place of his backpack was a leather bag. Wow, said Annie, looking out at the windows. This really looks like the Dark Ages. Jack looked out too. He couldn't see anything through the mist. It's just because the sun's not up yet, he said. I'd better check the book. Annie handed the Ireland book to Jack. He opened it and read aloud. The early Middle Ages were once known as the Dark Ages because learning and culture nearly vanished throughout Europe. Scholars today praise the brave Irish monks who helped keep Western civilization alive. What do civilization and monks mean? Asked Annie. Ooh, she's asking about what kind of words? She's asking about some expert words, right? I think civilization is when people have books and art and good manners, said Jack. Monks are religious people who spend their time praying and reading and helping people. Well, I don't see any civilization or monks out there, said Annie, pointing at the mist. Jack pulled out his notebook. He wrote, Brave monks in Ireland. Then he looked at Annie. If we find civilization, I think we'll find the lost story, he said. Let's go, said Annie. She lifted her skirt and climbed out the window. Jack read more in the Ireland book. The monks copied the ancient writings of the Western world. Before printing was invented, all books had to be written and copied by hand. Hey, we're on a cliff, Annie called from the outside. Above the ocean. Be careful, said Jack. He stuffed the Ireland book and his notebook into his leather bag. Then he climbed out the window. Annie was peering over the edge. Jack looked too. There was a rocky shore 20 feet below. Waves slapped against the rocks. Seagulls swooped and glided above the sea. Doesn't look like there's any civilization down there, said Jack. Maybe we should climb those, said Annie. She pointed to steep steps cut into the cliff. Jack looked up. The cliff also rose above them in the mist. We better wait till the sun comes up, he said. Let's just go super slow, said Annie. She started up the stone steps. Wait, Annie, said Jack. They might be slippery. Whoa, she said, almost falling backwards. I tripped on my own dress. I told you to wait, Jack said. It's too dangerous. Just then, something fell from above. Watch it, said Jack. He put his hands over his head. Hey, it's a rope, said Annie. That's fine. Throw it away. Jack saw a thick rope dangling down the stairs. Where'd this come from, he asked. It's like when Morgan dropped the ladder to us, said Annie. I bet someone's trying to help us. Yeah, but who, said Jack. Let's find out, said Annie. She grabbed the rope. I'll use it first. Once I'm at the top, you can come after me. Okay, but hurry, he said, and be careful. Jack waited as Annie started to climb up the steps.
Oh, it's finally a picture.
son? You need to find a seat that you're not distracted by what's on the carpet. Thank you. Annie held on to the rope as she climbed slowly up the stairs. Soon she vanished over the top of the cliff. "What's up there?" Jack shouted, but his voice was lost in the sound of the waves. He grabbed the rope and started up the steep steps. At the top of the cliff, he pulled himself over the edge. "Aha!" boomed a deep, jolly voice. "It's another little invader." Chapter 3, Brother Patrick.
What is invader?
An invader is like somebody that is going like into a place that maybe they're not supposed to be. Like you're invading. Like, have you ever heard of somebody saying like, "You're invading my personal space"?
Yeah.
Like you're too close to like their personal bubble. You're in a place where you maybe shouldn't be. Make sense? Chapter 3, Brother Patrick. We'll read one more. Jack's glasses were wet with mist. He quickly wiped them and looked up. A man in a brown robe stood before him. The man had a round, red face. He was bald, except for a fringe of hair around his head. Nearby, the rope was tied around a tree. I'm not an invader," said Jack. "He's Jack," said Annie. She was standing behind the man. "I'm Annie. We're from Frog Creek, Pennsylvania." We come in peace," stammered Jack. The man's blue eyes twinkled. "Oh, do you now?" he said. "I wondered what was going on. I had dropped the rope so I could climb down the steps, but you two grabbed it instead. How in the world did you get on this island?" Jack stared at the man. He didn't know how to explain the magic treehouse. In our boat," Annie said quickly. The man looked puzzled. "Not many boats can come ashore at this dark early hour." "Well, we're really good sailors," said Annie. "Oh, brother," thought Jack. He hoped their sailing skills wouldn't be tested. "Where exactly are we?" asked Annie. "And who exactly are you?" "You're on an island off the coast of Ireland," the man said. "And I'm Brother Patrick." "Whose brother are you?" said Annie. The monk smiled. "The brother means that I'm a Christian monk." "Oh, you are one of the monks who saved civilization," said Annie. The man smiled again. Annie turned to Jack and whispered, "Let's show him our cards. I trust him." "Okay," said Jack. He trusted the monk too. They both pulled out their secret library cards and showed them to Brother Patrick. The M's and L's for Master Librarian shined in the gray light. The monk looked at them and bowed his head. "Welcome, my friends," he said. "Thank you," said Jack and Annie. "I did not truly think you were invaders," said Brother Patrick. "But on our small island, we are careful of strangers." "Why?" said Annie. "There are terrible stories about Viking raiders," he said. "When we see their serpent ships, we must hide or be taken." "Serpent ships?" said Jack. "The prows of their ships are often carved in the shape of a serpent's head," said Brother Patrick. "I'm afraid it stands for their fierce, cold-blooded ways." Jack looked at the misty gray sea. "Do not worry," said Brother Patrick. "They cannot land safely on this island before daylight. They're not as good as sailors as some people." He winked at Annie. "Too bad for them," she said cheerfully. "But tell me why you've come here," asked Brother Patrick. "Oh," said Jack, "I almost forgot." He pulled Morgan's paper from his leather bag. He showed the Latin words to the monk. "Serpens magna. This is the title of a story that we have to take back to our friend and teacher, Morgan Le Fay," said Annie. "I see," said Brother Patrick. He gave Jack and Annie a mysterious look. What was he thinking, Jack wondered. But the monk changed the subject. I think you would like to visit our monastery," he said. "What's that?" said Annie. "The place where we monks live and work," said Brother Patrick. "Come." But the sun's not up yet, said Jack. Won't the others be asleep? Oh no, said Brother Patrick. In the summer, we rise long before daylight. We have much to do. You'll see. The monk led them up a dirt path. Jack hoped their book was at the monastery. He wanted to leave the gloomy island with its threat of Viking invaders as soon as possible. A low bell started to ring. Jack saw a lonely church steeple against the gray sky ahead. Chapter 4 is called Books of Wonder, and we are going to pause there for now. Virtual friends, thanks for joining us, and we will see you guys tomorrow.